You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast, here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Thad, and joining me is my co-host, Chrissie. How are you today, Chrissie?
I'm doing all right. I did not win the Mega Millions last night, so I will not be able to go to every single Star Trek convention and for the rest of forever, but other than that, it's all good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It is a bummer.
It's okay,
Also joined with us today is San Diego Comic-Con special correspondent Christos Giannaris. Christos, how are you today?
I'm finally recovered and got my sleep all caught up, so I'm feeling great.
Well, glad to hear it. Before we jump into our topic for today, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make the show possible, particularly our associate producers, Chrissie De Clerck-Szilagyi and Justin Oser. Listeners, you can hear your name listed as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/BQN. And with a monthly Patreon subscription of just $5, you can join our meetings of the Hive Mind on the second Saturday of each month. Watch your Patreon messages for details. We had a little bit of news, because we've taken a couple weeks off here since there hasn't been new Star Trek, sadly.
Sadly, but also, take a breath. It wasn't the worst thing.
So the International Association of Media Tie-In Writers, IMATW, for those who, are in the industry, I suppose, include John Jackson Miller for Rogue Elements, and the Faust Award, which I think is for Lifetime Achievement, went to David Mack this year. So,
they call them Grandmasters when they win it.
Right.
So
yeah.
Wow.
So that's pretty good. I mean, John Jackson Miller definitely deserves it for Rogue Elements, because that was just a fantastic book. And
that was the Rios Indiana Jones book.
Yes!
I loved that
Which
book.
Tied into the Undiscovered Country. Yeah, it was great.
yes.
I remember texting Amy Nelson. I'm like, you need to start reading this book, because once the Undiscovered Country stuff came in, because we had just been talking about that movie, and I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
This is so awesome.
Yeah, that was really good. And David Mack has written so many amazing Star Trek novels.
Oh, yeah.
The Destiny trilogy is some of the best of the post-Nemesis continuity, in my opinion. And he also... he's written so many of all throughout, but another one that he's really big for was originating the Vanguard series, which takes place during the TOS era, but about new characters. And those are also quite good. So,
yes.
Well-deserved award for David Mack, I think.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Was that you were at Shore Leave? Did they talk about that at Shore Leave at all? They
did not.
Okay.
My guess is he probably knew, but they probably weren't announcing it until. Is my assumption.
I wasn't sure when it was announced. Okay.
I don't think it was officially announced until San Diego Comic-Con. I imagine they tell the winners ahead of time. I would think, if for no other reason than to make sure they're there.
Yeah, I suppose it's not like the Oscars where everybody shows up anyway.
Right, but yeah, he was at Shore Leave 2 weeks ago. Quite a few of the Star Trek authors were. I did actually talk to him for a little bit about his books, and they actually had a panel about the future of Star Trek books with Dayton Ward, David Mack, different people, Kevin Delmore. Tuvix of Dayton Ward and David Mack would write really good books, I think. But yeah, it was.
Or there's an upcoming marriage announcement.
I think they're both already married, so that could get tricky.
Yes.
But yeah, Dayton Ward, David Mack, Kevin Dillmore, Christopher Bennett, Greg Cox, Scott Pearson. They were all there on a panel talking about Star Trek novels. Of course, they couldn't tell us too much because, secrecy and whatnot.
Of course.
But they did Dayton Moore did unofficially confirm, because it had already been leaked due to a placeholder title on Amazon, that he is writing a Star Trek Discovery novel that will be released in May of next year, and it will be a standalone story, like an episode of like them, as if Discovery did standalone episodes, it would be like that.
Awesome.
So that could be exciting. Also, the Wrath of Khan is coming back for a 40th anniversary movie screening in the beginning of September.
Yes, Fathom Events.
Yeah, I saw the 35th screening.
Oh, nice.
It's been 5 years. I can go do it again.
Yeah.
It's fun because there's a thing around here they do called flashback cinema, and I don't know if it's just exclusive to the theaters that are around here. Is that something you guys have ever heard of?
I haven't heard of it.
Oh, Christos, you're nodding though.
Oh yeah,
so.
they do it here in San Diego.
Okay, all right, so it's not exclusive here, but they show Wrath of Khan like once a year with that, and then they have the Fathom Events, and you can make suggestions for flashback cinema, and like once a month I go in and suggest that they show Undiscovered Country, and I must be the only one because they have not. But yeah, I'm planning on going to that.
We should have gotten the 30th anniversary of Undiscovered Country last year.
We should have. We should have.
I have not seen that in the theater. I would be there. I would be so down for that.
Listeners have heard this story before, but my mother took me to see that the day it came out, which was 6 days before she gave birth to my sister, and she slept through the whole thing in the theater.
I have heard you tell that story.
Yes.
To this day, the only prime timeline film I have seen in the theater is First Contact. But now I am changing that in September because I'm going to see Wrath of Khan. I already have my ticket.
Awesome.
On Saturnos, it looks like Eaglemoss is in very shaky ground right now. They filed for bankruptcy in the UK. They took down the ability to buy models from their website. It does not look good. Yeah. Unfortunately for them, it's a victim of, COVID and then increase in shipping prices for everything. Because all of their models are made in China and need to be shipped out to other places, and they took a huge hit when nothing was being made, and now with delays and increased costs, I just imagine their margin probably wasn't very high on those models to begin with, and now they weren't able to recover, which is very sad because they were very nice models. I have quite a few of them, and I'm really glad I ordered that Cerritos when it came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're probably never getting the Lower Decks Titan, sadly. Oh well. Hopefully someone else will step in and make Star Trek models. We mentioned a little bit of book news, but the other book news that came out of GalaxyCon Raleigh, which was a surprising source, Andy Robinson is a guest there and announced that Simon & Schuster has given him the go-ahead to produce an audiobook of his Deep Space Nine novel, A Stitch in Time, which should be amazing.
I just saw this on Twitter this morning, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Andy Robinson reading, because that book is written from the perspective of Garrick, so Andy Robinson as Garrick reading this book will be fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah, I equivalent this to, I don't know if you guys read Catherine Janeway's autobiography that came out a year or so ago, and then they later went on to produce an audiobook with Kate Mulgrew reading it, and for me, this was well before Prodigy ever dropped, so it was like my first time hearing Catherine Janeway doing Kate Mulgrew doing Catherine Janeway since Nemesis probably, so it was pretty cool. So I think this is a lot along those lines. It's really looking forward to it.
I'm also hoping this will open the door to additional audiobook releases from the Star Trek novel back catalog, because they've been very good about audiobooks lately. Starting in 2016, they've released an unabridged version of every Star Trek novel when it comes out, which is wonderful. but there are hundreds, probably thousands, of Star Trek novels written before 2016 that do not have audiobooks. There were some in the 90s, got abridged ones read by the actors, various actors. Those are kind of cool, but basically anything from the 2000s before 2016 doesn't have an audiobook.
I'm wondering if, since it was Andrew Robinson that wrote this in the first place, I'm wondering if he's going to be doing any, like, updating, editing, that kind of thing, second edition type stuff. I think that would be nice to see, and then they could release it in hardcover with the audio, with a little Audible code or something. There's all sorts of ways they could go here.
A physical book release to go along with this would be wonderful, because that book has been out of print for a very long time and is very expensive on the secondhand market. Like that and the first edition of Killing Time are probably the only Star Trek novels that are actually worth a significant amount of money. Thankfully, I think the entire Simon & Schuster Star Trek catalog is available on ebook.
It is.
Obviously, it's only the second edition of Killing Time, so if you need your softcore slash, you gotta find an old physical copy of that. But other than that, I think it's all available as an ebook, at least. We did lose 2 more Star Trek actors in the past week. David Warner, as we've already talked about Star Trek VI, probably most famous for Chancellor Gorkon and Gul Madred, although he did also play St. John Talbot in Star Trek V. He did pass away on July 24th. He was 80 years old. And then Paul Sorvino, who played Worf's adopted brother Nikolai. He also has done many other things as an actor. So has David Warner. But David Warner at least had a major role in Star Trek. Paul Sorvino, probably most famous for Goodfellas, I think. He passed away on July 25th at the age of 83. So they will be missed. All right, so we should probably talk about the thing that got us all here together in the first place, which is all of the big news out of San Diego Comic-Con last week, and Christos had the great pleasure of actually being there.
Yeah, first off, I will just say, did Paramount Plus and Star Trek show up? I feel like they had the strongest physical presence in that, even the big Marriott that overlooks the convention center was shrink wrapped in a Trek banner with representation of the shows, Mariner, Picard, and all that. So, you just walking toward the convention center, all you had to do, you could not miss Trek. And it was also on other buildings. They had their new werewolf show on Paramount Plus. Teen Wolf. They had they had 3 or 4 different buildings wrapped with Paramount Plus stuff. So I feel like it was a big Paramount Plus push in general, and I think they succeeded in that. Inside the hall, there wasn't a ton of Trek representation. Everybody had a little something, but there was a Paramount Plus experience, which they had a big Beavis and Butthead thing, because I think there's a new series about to premiere.
There was a movie.
Yeah. No, I think there's a series coming. I think we saw that on the side of one of the buildings. Maybe that was an announcement this last week.
Maybe.
Not a big thing for me, so I didn't pay too much attention.
No.
But really, for Star Trek, the real fun was outside of the convention center over on Fifth Avenue, which is just really a very, very, very short walk. But you had a restaurant that had been completely taken over and had become the 10 Forward experience. And
nice.
Very much like the 10 Forward experience that was in L.A. And then immediately adjacent to that, they made kind of a beer garden, and it's called the Starfleet Outpost. And really, the production value was really high on that. They made a really nice bar that could have been Guinan's bar. There was a shop in there. There was a big, I was going to say a life-size hand, but it was a more than life-size hand doing, the Live Long and Prosper sign. And that was free to the public, which was great. You just I think the capacity was 49 people because
it was a life-size giant Spock from the animated series hand.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. But it was really cool because on Wednesday when they were setting up, I got to peek in and talk to the gal that was in charge of the whole thing. And she's like, yeah, we brought this all down and we're getting it all set up. It's going to be great. And she was talking about everything that they replicated on the 10 Forward side and was giving me, and she was showing me some exclusive merch that they had. And they had all the new Playmates figures in like a casing that was really cool. They had exclusive merch that was not at the LA experience. Like they had a really cool Quarks bar, Steinglass, and
nice.
Like a Klingon rock band T-shirt with like even tour dates around the galaxy on the back. And
yeah, from Lower Decks.
It was really cool. I missed that whole reference.
That's
a bad
okay.
Trekkie.
No, you're not.
But so I felt Trek represented really well. I had that. My Comic-Con experience initially started with me buying a bunch of tickets for that 10 Forward experience. So we did that on Friday night. And it was so cool because just being there, I ran into so many Trekkies that I've seen from cons and the Star Trek cruise. And it was like people were just coming up left and right saying hi. I actually have a Facebook page called The Federation, and it's about 250 gay men from around the world who are Trekkies. And you kind of like have to like meet somebody to get in. You don't just accept whoever. So it's like, oh, I met you. We had you in. So people who were like friends of friends were coming up and introducing themselves. So it was just a really fun environment.
Awesome.
I may have had more than my share of Picard sours. But
what's in a Picard sour? Before you continue,
it was Picard wine and something else good. I don't know. They just went down a little too easy. I did take a picture of all the drinks and what was in them. It's in my phone somewhere. But there was really cool. What was different from the LA experience there was they had a really cool like transporter experience where you were on the transporter of the La Sirena, and they did like a 7-second GIF of you on the transporter pad, and then it added in the special effect of you beaming out. And it's kind of funny because you'd get up there and they'd say, well, act out something. You're like, what do you act? They just stand there on the transporter pad. So my friends and I had some fun with that. But the gal that was playing the Andorian, her makeup was so perfect. I mean, she was ready to go on set and be on Star Trek. And she had quite the fun personality. It was like if they turned Madeline Kahn into an Andorian. So
that's a hell of a reference and quite a picture, and I love it.
So one of my favorite movies is Clue, and Madeline Kahn, of course, steals that movie. And I have a very good friend who lives in Baltimore, and I'm like, you need to record a message, and so we can text it to him. And she did a little something, but she sounded just like Madeline Kahn, maybe like somewhere between Clue and What's Up, Doc? Well, anyway, so that was great. The Outpost was a lot of fun because anybody could get into that. You didn't even have to be going to Comic-Con, and you could have gotten into the Last Outpost. I'm naming an episode now. But you could have done that.
Wait, were there Ferengi with plasma whips? Is that what's going on here?
That would have made things a little bit more interesting, but I think those bars are up in Hillcrest. So that was kind of like the outside the con thing. Inside, I want to say it was really busy. It was a very good. People were happy. I think they were happy to be there. This was the first in-person Comic-Con since 2019.
Yeah.
So there was a mask mandate, which was interesting because we haven't had anything like that in San Diego in quite a while. So it was sort of respected for the most part. But I still know a ton of people who got COVID after Comic-Con. I don't know how I did it. My best friend did. And we were together all weekend. So
vaccination.
Well, he was too, but it's so random. It's so random. who gets the breakthrough and who doesn't. But
Yeah.
overall, it was great. I mean, without getting, we'll discuss the panels here in a little bit, but I just felt like it was a return to form. People were happy. It was probably one of the biggest Comic-Cons, they said, in years. And
That's good.
I mean, overall, there was just Trek everywhere. My favorite little personal story was me walking around in my TNG Beverly Crusher outfit. I had the blue jumpsuit and the doctor's coat on. And
Nice.
I was standing there talking to somebody, and some guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Who are you supposed to be, Beverly Crusher?" And some guy goes, "No, he's Dr. Bashir wishing he was Beverly Crusher."
Amazing.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, when I grow my beard in a little bit more and when I've had shorter hair, people would say, "Oh, you could do Bashir really well," just because of
I can see that.
my Greek heritage, yeah. And I probably should just cosplay Bashir. That would be a little bit more on, but I don't know. It was fun. Yeah, overall, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of people. It was a little overwhelming crowds and things like that, just in general. People cutting you off, people bumping into you, people just stopping in front of you. But
people
some
in
really
general.
cool stuff. I really enjoyed the Hero Within booth. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
No.
They make comic book, Comic-Con, pop culture inspired swag that's really not always quite on the nose. You have to kind of look for the reference. So I bought this really cool bomber jacket, and it's Strange New Worlds. So
Okay.
it's just a pike yellow jacket, and then they had places to put patches on. So you bought the patches and customized your jacket. So I got a sea pike to go on
Nice.
it. I also got a bee crusher to go on it too.
Well, yeah.
You could put your delta, your division on your sleeve. It has the outline of the delta on the back, so that's where it really kind of sticks out Star Trek. But really cool. It was a Comic-Con exclusive, so I was really happy to get
Nice.
that. And they had a really cool tank top that I got that said "Keep Trek Strange." So
Nice.
I like that too.
I love it. It's like my new favorite tank top. So it's right there at that command yellow from Strange New Worlds too. So it just pops. So
Perfect.
but that was kind of like the whole experience of it all. We can start talking panels if you want.
Absolutely.
Sure.
That was.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
I was worn out. I mean, I literally was worn out. I had two friends in town that weekend who were kind of coming and going, and between the Comic-Con stuff, and I was trying to help Gaze in Space with a few things over the couple of days, and yeah, by Monday I was just happy to go to work.
All right.
Funny how that happens.
So we did have panels for 3 of the Star Trek shows, Picard, Lower Decks, and Strange New Worlds. I think everyone is excited for the Picard panel because they had already announced that Gates McFadden was going to be there, so I'm sure you were definitely excited for that, Christos.
Oh, yes. I'm sure.
I was over the moon. I just got my Investigate shirt on today, listeners.
Ah, yes you do. I just noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't know they had shirts for that. That's cool. I have to get one.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Investigates, I recently saw Gates McFadden as well because I was at shore leave in Baltimore the week before SDCC, and Gates McFadden was there, and she did announce there that season 2 of Investigates will have episodes with William Shatner and with Anson Mount.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have been
That's
paying attention to Twitter this week, but there's something going back. I know it's a joke, right? Trekkies in podcasting that don't pay attention to Twitter. There's been a lot of love given back and forth between Kate Mulgrew and Gates McFadden. So they're talking. I think Kate Mulgrew will be on Investigates for one.
Oh, I can
but
imagine. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's something else going on. There's something else going on. I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. Gates said at shore leave she was talking about things that she's doing and done, and she mentioned Prodigy. She's coming back to Prodigy. I'm not sure what exactly she's doing, but she's not done on Prodigy. It wasn't a one and done appearance. She's going to be back for something.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could really speculate there because if we get kind of tying back to the Picard panel, one thing that they say about Beverly Crusher is that she's been out doing something for 20 years leading up to the events of season 3 of Picard. And we know she's still in Starfleet because you had to watch that on the big screen TV, but that was a Starfleet jacket she was wearing. A lot of people were saying that she was in civilian clothes in that little teaser.
Yeah, the blue ones didn't look as obviously Starfleet because it sort of blended into the black. But yes.
When I got home and watched it in high def on a 75-inch TV, I'm like, oh, that's obviously the blue. You can see the blue. Yeah. And same with Troy. They were both, for the record, they were both still Starfleet.
I think Terry Matalas said afterwards, though, that some of them are not actually still in Starfleet and they were just in uniforms for that shot.
Yeah. Well, I think, honestly, and we can just kind of get into it. So, I mean, they start off with literally showing us a character reel for Picard. That's all the trailer teaser was
but they looked awesome.
Yes, they did. Well, I personally would have preferred them not wearing leather jackets, but, you know.
If it's the 25th century, faux leather.
Well, okay, I doubt that was faux leather, but
no,
yes,
I doubt it too.
We'll go with that for my headcanon. Actually, I personally don't think that the majority of those jackets are ever going to be seen on screen.
Probably not.
No. I think maybe you might see the ones like Picard and Riker were wearing because those are a little bit more in line with things that we've seen Patrick Stewart wear. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Commodore LaForge is going to look like that. Or I mean, it was really telling that they showed those leather jackets on everybody, and then 7 of 9 is wearing her regular uniform. But when they did a close-up of 7 of 9, she is wearing one of those leather jackets, too. I think it was very deliberate to show her in Starfleet. That was a deliberate kind of one thing that they wanted to have slip.
I wonder if those jackets are sort of like similar to the bomber jackets that we got in the TOS movies. So they're more of a slightly less formal thing that they would wear, like, out and about or something.
Or like the ones on Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Or like the Picard, you know, season 5 suede jacket that he started
Picardigan?
I hated that suede jacket.
Picard,
yes,
I love that jacket.
I think he loved it.
He loved it, yes.
I'd imagine, yeah.
He had requested, he had specifically requested that he get to wear something different because he hated the uniform tunic. But I just don't like the way it looked, especially when he would zip a little bit at the bottom and it would, I just don't like it. But anyway.
I hear you. So where I guess where I was going with that is, where we are in Prodigy is Admiral Janeway kind of out there looking for things. So maybe with the Admiral Janeway, we'll see a live action Beverly not live action, but real, not a hologram. Beverly kind of involved with that. That's just some deep speculation there, but who else in that teaser? Let's talk about Worf. What do you guys think of Worf?
He's a captain, but he's not a captain. That's the big thing everybody's talking about.
I saw someone on Twitter calling him Silver Targ Worf, which I love.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Silver Targ?
Yes, instead of Fox. Because
I got you. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think he looks amazing.
I think he looks amazing. I think they nailed it.
I was a little surprised to see him with white hair. There are some people on the internet who are freaking out and are mad about it, and I think they need to chill.
What?
I know. He didn't look like that in All Good Things. I'm like,
Klingons don't age as fast as humans, so he shouldn't have white hair. Is the argument?
And neither does Patrick Stewart or LeVar Burton or Gates McFadden.
And age is the only thing that produces white hair.
So my favorite I read is one of my somebody in one of a group I follow saying, well, the picture of Worf just proves that Discovery isn't canon because Worf still looks like the Worf. And the Klingon, I know. And I was like, if I could reach through the phone and I'm like, I can't handle you people.
For a fandom of something that is supposed to be all about how there's all sorts of different types of people and they can all function together, the idea of species differentiation really goes over these people's heads.
Right.
Like, I feel like I remember there being people complaining about Tim Russ as Tuvok because we'd never seen a black Vulcan. And it's like, it's a desert planet. It actually makes less sense to have white Vulcans.
Yes.
You know,
And all Vulcans are kind of brown.
yeah,
Like, they have a, like a tan complexion.
yeah, but it's
Or
just
the
like,
majority, yeah.
species differentiation. Get over it.
Yeah.
And like, they're really going to redo Worf's makeup after 30 some odd years? Really?
I think the internet would have been 15 times more broken if we saw some sort of reimagined Worf. I mean, people would have people would have boycotted the show over that.
Yeah.
Some people would have.
To be fair, the people who would have boycotted the show over that were the people that aren't watching new Star Trek already. But yes.
Yeah.
True.
But so I give Worf a 10. I don't know quite what this 4 pips, but he's not a captain. I mean, there's so much ambiguity going on with this, because if you read Last Best Hope, I think that's what it's called, the Picard prequel novel, when Picard is promoted to admiral very hastily, 2 things happen. He says bye to Beverly, and Worf gets promoted to captain.
Yeah. And he gets the Enterprise.
Because
he was
he gets the Enterprise E.
Right.
And that's about maybe 10 years prior to...
Now, the one thing we all know...
now, maybe a little bit more, 15, I don't know.
The one thing we all know is that these books are written in such a way that they conform with existing canon at the moment they are written, but that does not mean that future episodes of the show cannot completely change what they say.
That almost sounded like legalese, the way you said it. I love it.
No, he's got the disclaimer right there.
Anyone who has read the first Discovery novel, Desperate Hours by David Mack, will know what I'm talking about. So, the way I took this was that Terry Matalas said that, yes, he is in a Starfleet uniform. He is wearing the uniform of a captain, but he is not necessarily a captain right now, and you will find out. So my thought process in this is he did have the rank of captain, but he is no longer currently the captain of a ship.
That's exactly how I took it. How I took it. He, and there might be a story there. Like maybe there was something happened and he lost his ship. That there might be something interesting there. Maybe he lost the Enterprise E, somehow, and it just kind of been sidelined ever since. There is a lot, with their little voiceovers. I feel like the voiceover that Worf gave was the most intriguing. It's something about to the clue of you have no idea what I've sacrificed since I've made. I feel like his was the most intriguing, and there's something to be said with him about, like, I don't know that he's definitely going to be on good terms with our TNG crew when we come back, which will also line up with all good things.
some of it, yeah. I think I will remind everybody that by the time we got to the Undiscovered Country, you have Captain Kirk, Captain Spock, Captain Scott, Captain... Sulu's got his own ship, but he's holding the rank of captain. So there's a lot of times where we see a bunch of people holding the rank of captain, but they're functioning in not captain roles. So,
yeah, and he very well may have been a captain of a ship and is not now. Maybe
he could just be retired.
Yeah, he could be like Riker. Riker's not the captain of a specific, or he may have gone back.
But he had
now,
pips.
But in season 1 of Picard, he was definitely not the captain of a ship. He had, retired.
So let's see there. We talked about Worf. What about Commodore LaForge?
Oh, yeah. Who's a father.
Who outranks Riker now.
Yeah. Well,
outranks everybody except Picard.
Yeah. Well, we knew that Geordi and Riker are the only two that were canonically the captains of starships that we have already seen on Star Trek. Because Geordi was the captain of the USS Challenger in Timeless, and yes, that was an alternate timeline, but I highly doubt that anything that had changed about the timeline would have stopped Geordi from becoming the captain of the ship.
I agree with you. Yeah. And then Geordi was last seen and also in Last Best Hope.
Yes.
He was in charge of the shipbuilding efforts at Utopia Planitia on Mars, but happened to be on a shuttle between Earth and Mars when the actual attack happened.
I was so glad when I read that in Last Best Hope, because
me too.
the comic book, the comic book that set up the show, like, put Geordi on Mars, and I'm like, oh no, did Geordi die? Like, I was legit worried about that.
And you know what? I wouldn't have put it past them to introduce some kind of shocker to kind of, I had the same thoughts. So I was happy.
I know there were quite a few people who were convinced that Beverly was dead for the longest time.
I was scared shitless. I was like, that is that how he's going to be? I really thought, this older, bitter Picard that we got, especially at the beginning of season one. I thought that was going to be one of the things that informed that. So,
and the fact that they didn't mention her at all in all of season one, like even like when they brought up the brain abnormality, all he said was, "I was told this could be a problem." He didn't like mention her name or anything. And it was a little weird that it was the doctor from the Stargazer that had come and seen him, and not Crusher. And somebody had mentioned that would have been an excellent cameo for Pulowski. I thought that was true too. That also would have been cool. Yeah,
just because it was a short scene, it would have been kind of perfect. But anyway, so we're just happy Beverly's with us. But Geordi was escaped and last seen, I guess about 15 years prior to where we are now in 2401. He talks about in his overlay that his years on the Enterprise made him a better friend, a better husband, a better father, and so we also know that his own real life daughter, Mika Burton, who we've seen a lot in Star Trek panels, Star Trek Day coverage, First Contact Day coverage. She is going to play Geordi LaForge's daughter, one of his daughters, I think. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that'll be awesome.
7 of 9 we see in a Starfleet uniform, so her field commission stuck, I guess. It's revealed that they revealed outside of it that she's going to be a commander, and that we will get a lot more on 7, I think, starting next month. I think there's a 3-part Star Trek Picard Stargazer comic book coming out that is supposed to be a prequel to season 3, but it's supposed to center around Picard and 7. So that's and then we see Troy, we see Riker, we see Beverly, otherwise Gates and Patrick Stewart talked quite a bit during interviews and on the panel. Mentioned that their characters hadn't seen each other in 20 years. They mentioned that there's a lot of tension between Jean-Luc and Beverly. So I feel like maybe a lot of what has gone down through the years is going to get hashed out.
Yeah. And I always felt like there needed to be a reckoning between them about Wesley, about how, like, where Picard put him in a position of being an officer, and I don't know. I feel like you could take that with Beverly saying she wasn't sure if he was ready, but she let him do it, that kind of thing. And then, of course, were it not for being on the Enterprise, which she brought him there, but then the Traveler might never have taken him, So I think I feel like there's some unfinished business there, although I'm not really sure how to articulate it.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, we see the Traveler 3 times in TNG, and I mean, at the end of was it Journey's End, Beverly seemed to be understanding, but that's also Beverly of 25 plus years ago, maybe 30 years ago at this point. So she may have this, hey, I don't have my son, I never got grandkids, I never, all these things that come as a result of him kind of exiting her life. And
but she's also understanding in the way that you might be understanding to a kid who's going off to, college and you're not going to see for years, or a kid who's going off to the military or something. Yeah. Putting on the face for him.
She's putting on a face. She doesn't want to make him feel bad or guilty, but she's got her own feelings that she's keeping to herself.
Well, I would also hope that Wesley has probably come home and said hi to his mother a few times in the last 20 years.
Well, in Nemesis he did, like, obviously.
Yeah, true.
They cut his scenes out of that, but
he's still on camera.
He is on camera, so he did come for the Riker's wedding.
I liked the hoops they jumped through in the novels to explain that.
Yes. That was beautiful.
Where they have him showing up, they have him materializing but without any clothes, so they just give him a random uniform.
Because he thought he was showing up at the Betazoid wedding.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm at the wrong wedding. Beam him down a uniform. Oh, okay.
Yeah, those cut Nemesis scenes don't obviously have to stay cut because they mentioned him being in Starfleet and things like that. So, So, I mean, I think that's pretty much what we know now. I mean, I think, I personally, my little prediction on Beverly is that she probably did become a captain and went off for running missions and maybe doing, humanitarian, although it's probably not quite the word for a galactic thing, but definitely helping those in need on a Starfleet medical vessel.
Yeah.
And I think people would like to see that personally. So, like, having that sort of... I personally want to see Beverly still in Starfleet kind of doing cool things. So I hope that's what we get.
Her hair covered her rank pips, right? Like, you couldn't see her rank.
Yeah, you couldn't see anything. Although, I mean, whatever. There was also, and I'm not sure where I read this, but I think at some point in all the interviews I've seen, it kind of gets revealed... And maybe I'm not imagining this, that whatever the big galactic event that is going to be the catalyst for the events of Season 3 starts with Beverly.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah. That was somewhere over the last weekend. That something, and that kind of tracks with Gates talking about how many episodes that she's in personally. Yeah. And that the whole season is going to be them kind of picking up members of the crew as they go. But if Beverly's got the most episodes, or almost the most episodes, then it kind of tracks that it starts with her toward the beginning. Gosh, I wish I remember where I read that or saw that. It's
all right.
But anyways. So
we'll find out.
That's our Picard panel. I think we kind of beat that to death. So exciting. So exciting. I can't wait. I mean, it's now. Like TNG Season 8. Everything being said about, the proper send-off for the characters and, and did you catch on the panel, though, one last thing is that even Patrick Stewart said he would be open to another TNG movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I doubt we'll see that, but maybe not.
Yeah, what Alex Kurtzman said was that they're basically treating this season as a final TNG movie. But if it does incredibly well and people really like it, then maybe there could be a movie in the future.
Yeah. Well,
what else that tells me? Picard's alive at the end of it.
That is a very good point. Yeah. I hadn't even
just thought of that.
Yeah, that's really good deduction there because they did not even hesitate or make, that's a problem but they just kind of like, that does sound like we'd be open to that, and I think everyone was surprised to see that Patrick Stewart was open to that.
All right, maybe the season ends with Benjamin Sisko helping Picard become a prophet.
Okay, minor
I thought it was going
tangent.
to become a Q.
Yes,
Q
minor
would make more
tangent.
sense.
I
just
really
want
did
Benjamin
think...
Sisko to show up.
Well, yeah, don't we all? But I really did think that was going to be the end of Picard. Even like before we got the whole Q storyline for last season, I was like, that's the end. Q's going to bring him back from death and elevate him to the continuum.
Didn't Q die?
Yeah. I'm saying this was before.
Right.
That's what I thought before. Yeah. Yeah. Now, no. But.
And I think they've teased
Corbin
cameos.
Burnson will show up and help him become a Q.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's true.
Or just past Q. And you don't even have to you don't even have to redo the computer generated. It could look like he does, but he's like, oh, this is a year before.
Yeah. What's the young girl's name that in season 6 True Q?
Amanda something.
Amanda.
Yeah,
the one that Picard and Bev were
Amanda
trying
Rogers,
to
that's it,
guide. Yeah,
she could.
Maybe she'll come back in. Yeah,
or it'll be Keegan Delancey.
There you go.
He cannot do that because he works
for the government now, right?
Yeah, he works for the State Department, and I think his Wikipedia page says he cannot act anymore. They won't let him. I guess unless he quits the State Department, but...
then, but we could always get the female Q.
true. Although why she would do anything for Picard, doesn't know him. That was a real tangent. Anyway.
I love it.
Me too.
So let's talk the second panel, which was Lower Decks.
Lower Decks.
Okay, I am
Before
so
we get
excited
into
for
this,
season 3.
right? I want everybody to just close their eyes, unless you're driving, and imagine Tawny Newsome and Jack Quaid at the age of 75 starting a Lower Decks chant at a convention around the 100th anniversary of Star Trek, and how that's going to look, and how it's going to be crazy but awesome.
Well, if they're 75, I'm probably going to be closer to 85 or 90. So I'm also going to be there with my walker. I'm going to be lifting my walker in the air.
Well, okay. Forget the age. Older, gray-haired, looking like the TNG cast does now, and starting a Lower Decks chant.
Oh, it'll be happening at the convention that is bound to happen in 2063 in Bozeman, Montana.
Bozeman. Yeah. Yes, it will. So Lower Decks panel. Yay.
We get a full trailer.
Yay.
Yes.
So
much cool stuff in that trailer.
Oh my god, that trailer's awesome.
I was freaking losing it at the DS9 thing when they said, just circle around, pretend we're in all the pylons. I'm just like, that's so
buy some
amazing.
Time. Keep circling. And the wormhole opened.
And then
it looks exactly like
on the panel that they're going to go on DS9 and meet characters and walk around. And,
It's supposed to be a whole episode.
Yes.
A DS9 episode.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Finally...
Finally,
we're going to get, we've got Love of TNG, obviously. We're getting a lot of Voyager and here between 7 and then, of course, Prodigy. But this is finally going to get some love for DS9.
Yes.
I think we can assume pretty safely that we're going to hear from Armin Shimmerman.
Oh, yeah.
In this. I can't imagine that they'd be on the promenade and not go to Quarks, especially since Mariner was supposed to have been there before.
I'm betting the Nav Visitor will be there, too.
Yes. I would too.
Oh, and I think she'll be in command of the station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised to hear Alexander Siddig, and I would not be surprised to hear Andrew Robinson.
Do you think the most important person in Starfleet history will be there?
That'd be cool.
He left DS9 at the end, right?
That's true, he did.
Well, yeah, and so did...
He went back in the books.
Yeah, he did.
It's a couple years later.
Yeah.
It's a couple years later. You never know.
Yeah.
I predict we're going to see a lot of the DS9 cast return.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome.
I think other prediction I kind of took out of there.
Ezri Dax will probably be there too. I bet.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Little justice for Nicole. She, only got that one season.
Ezri Dax was awesome.
I think, yes.
You could do a flashback with Jadzia too.
That's true. Oh, yeah, because Terry Farrell's not dead. Jadzia is. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and that might...
Yes.
That might track because if Mariner apparently had served on DS9.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At the same time that Worf was there.
So she may know Jadzia.
And she specifically talked about Worf, so she was there before the end of DS9, because Worf leaves to go... become the ambassador to Kronos at the end of DS9. So yes, we could totally have a flashback of Mariner hanging with Worf and Jadzia, like playing Tongo or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I love it.
I think it would be like I think it would be some sort of like strip poker thing. I think I would see.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have more sensor bars.
Yeah, but then they'll be able to put all of Jadzia's spots and stuff like that. That would just be something I would see them doing.
For sure.
How fast do you guys think we're going to wrap up this Freeman thing? I think it's going to be episode 1, episode 2. Yeah.
Maybe 2. Yeah.
2 episodes, and I would have said 1, except for the fact that the title of the second one is The Least Dangerous Game, which is a play on the movie and story The Most Dangerous Game, which is about hunting people, and I think The Least Dangerous Game is going to be Pakleds.
That would make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we got 2 episodes.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't drag on.
I don't think it will.
I like Captain Freeman. I just kind of want to get them back to. I don't want a whole I don't need a whole season of The Fugitive or anything
So
like that.
I think what may happen, Freeman will be exonerated, but then like there may still be like the overarching like who was really behind it that they'll still have to figure out throughout the season.
Yes.
Like we had with Packlids this past season, where it wasn't like every episode was the Packlids, but they definitely were still continuing that story. So I think we might get that, but I think Freeman will be back in the captain's seat within the first 2 episodes.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm sticking with that. That works for me. I mean, we'll get some answers to that sooner than later. We're about less than a month out from the premiere.
Yes, we are. I'm so excited.
I'm really looking forward to this season. I think it looks really good.
Me too.
All right. Well, in kind of sticking with Lower Decks adjacent, immediately following the Lower Decks panel was the Strange New Worlds panel, which immediately was crashed by Tawny Newsome and Jack. What is his name?
Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
Jack Quaid. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we completely stop talking about the Lower Decks panel, I just want to say that Eugene Cordero was not there, but they brought his cardboard cutout.
Yes. I love that.
Where-
And the fact
he
that...
kinda-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he misses all this stuff.
Yeah, because he wasn't in Chicago either. Like
Well, he's, going to do Loki and that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's busy.
Jack Quaid said he's not met him in person yet,
Yes.
which is
I
just
did
hilarious to me.
I also liked when they talked about how none of them get to record together, and Mike McMahon's like, well, yeah, there's a reason why you can't have you all like close into the room yelling at each other.
It's true. All that audio picks up on the other one. Plus, they never get anything done.
Yeah, plus they'd be laughing, and it just, Imagine trying to record something like that with other people and not laughing.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like, could you imagine Jack Quaid not breaking up every, 5 seconds?
But one of the cool things you'd get out of that, though, is probably some really decent ad-libbing.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true. And they'd be able to play off each other, which you can't have when you're doing the individual.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. We've already greenlit season 4, right?
Of Lower Decks, yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I think okay. Because I think with animation, you got to stay so much more ahead of the game too. To keep them coming. I mean, they've 3 years in a row now consistently. We're getting a new season in August, so you've got to really kind of keep going with that.
And they can keep going forever. I mean, they have to keep going at least for 13 seasons because they've been doing a movie poster for each season.
Oh,
so
that's right.
We're only up to Star Trek 3, and there's 10 more movies.
And 3 after that they could do Lower Decks in the Kelvin timeline if they wanted to.
I was saying 10 more movies includes the Kelvin timeline.
Oh, it did. Oh, you're right. Okay, my math.
But by the time they're done, maybe that 4th Kelvin timeline movie will finally be out.
Another made for Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it's going to be Star
Officially,
Trek: The
it's
Next
still
Generation.
supposed to come out next year. Yeah, and if you believe that, I have some swampland to sell you.
So the only way that's happening is if they're purposely acting stupid.
Right. And I don't see that being the case.
I mean, and it was, what was side note there, but you had William Shatner, you had Paul Wesley, and Chris Pine was at Comic-Con promoting his Dungeons & Dragons movie.
Which looks amazing, by the way.
Right. They did nothing to bring those 3 actors together for a photo op. You had all 3 Kirks in the same place. I know Paul Wesley showed up at some private event that was ticketed for William Shatner. He never misses a chance to sell autographs and photo ops. But and Paul Wesley was there. But, that would have been
Pine
so cool.
was asked about Star Trek 4, and he said that they still haven't, done anything yet.
And they could have easily... There could have been a little bit of time built into that Star Trek panel if they had any significant thing to say, and they didn't do that.
And it's not like
I
they're
think the
sitting on it
next
for
Star Trek
STLV.
movie is going to be something set with something that ties into the TV shows.
Yeah.
I won't be mad at that.
I won't, but I also want a Star Trek 4.
As much as I like Beyond, and I thought Beyond was the stronger of the 3, and I like that we got the Enterprise A in again. I'm like, it's now been 6 years. I'm feeling like in some ways I've moved on because everything we've had on TV has come after that. Yeah. So,
we need the Coda equivalent. where it wraps
Right.
it up and brings it back.
Yeah, I think if they do a
Sorry, I
fourth
didn't mean to
movie, it
interrupt
will
you.
be the last
I like
movie.
that.
But I still am holding out hope that we will finally get a fourth Kelvin.
Yes.
But then I want a movie that's like a mashup of all of our favorite 24th century Star Trek characters together.
Well,
So,
that was supposed to be the follow-up to Nemesis.
Right.
Yeah. So the Destiny trilogy, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
I like
Destiny
it.
trilogy doesn't really square with Picard at this point, but sure.
So it's another alternate timeline. That's...
Oh, please don't. I just wish we could
Sorry.
stay in a timeline for like one season of something without having time travel.
Sorry,
having...
one of those two new series is going to be all mirror universe all the time.
Oh, gods.
No, I hope not.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing too. Let's give that mirror universe a good 5-10 year break.
Star Trek: Rise of Lorca or something.
Yeah, okay.
He's talking.
Speaking of
There
Lorca,
has
though.
been some Jason Isaacs talk.
So the TV show that he was on this past season is canceled now. So he's not on another show as far as I know. So he's open, and I still am hoping.
Season 3 of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah,
There is
Prime
no
Lorca.
reason he couldn't show up there.
Yeah, I mean they have not explained what happened to Prime Universe Lorca.
yeah. Prime
We
Lorca
only know
needs to
Evil
show up.
Unless you've read the very, very, very last page of that book.
Yes, the second Discovery novel, Jurassic Measures by Dayton Ward, which is a novel about Lorca. It's a prequel novel about Lorca, and it has an epilogue, like almost an after credit scene, that is Lorca in a prison in the mirror universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that'll give them a reason to go to the mirror universe as I roll my
That is the
eyes,
only
but,
reason I would accept them going to the mirror universe is to rescue
Took the
Prime
words.
Lorca.
Took the words right out of my
All right.
mouth there. Yep. I would be fine with
okay.
that. One episode.
Yeah, I
Maybe
guess I
a
would
two-parter.
sign on that. Yeah. All right.
I mean,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
let's
enjoyed-
negotiate this.
I really enjoyed Terra Firma in season 3 of Discovery. So like sometimes they do it well, I think. I think
yeah.
I think Terra Firma would have worked a lot better if that random guy they were hunting at the end turned out to actually be Jason Isaacs and Lorca. That would have worked even better, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
so Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds.
We're getting a crossover with Lower Decks, where we are going to get live action Mariner and Boimler, Tawny Newsome and Jack Quaid playing their characters in real life, and Anson Mount has said that we will get animated Anson Mount. So
Big buff.
this is going to be a very interesting thing. I am
Tall hair.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Johnny Bravo. I mean,
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
Yes.
Well,
I will laugh my ass off if it is basically just Johnny Bravo in a Starfleet uniform.
Oh, I hope it's not quite
So, I mean, we're probably going to have some time travel. So there goes my thing of I don't want to see some time travel for a long time. But unless some sort of if it were happening on Lower Decks, I'd say it could be a holodeck thing. But it's happening on Strange New Worlds, which we're not supposed to have holodecks yet. So I'm guessing it's not.
The
There's
holodeck
going to be a
thing
time.
is overridden because remember they had a holodeck on Discovery when Lorca
Yeah,
and
that-
and
Yeah, with some,
And
with some sort
the
of
animated
rudimentary
series
holodeck.
also shows a holodeck on the Enterprise.
Okay.
yeah, but I
And
think
beyond that, you could do a These Are the Voyages-esque episode of
that's what I was going to say.
Strange New Worlds, where it's Mariner and Boimler on the holodeck pretending to be part of the Enterprise crew.
And that might track with Lower Decks type comedy to parody one of the most
Yes.
despised episodes of Star Trek.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, we'll just be like, just like Riker and Troy did.
Yes.
And they did already say that the episode will be directed by Jonathan Frakes, which just adds another layer of meta to that.
Will be already was.
Oh yeah, that's
What we
true.
have to
Already
remember
was
that, too.
directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait
So-
for this.
Unfortunately, we have like 3 whole other seasons of Star Trek before this is coming.
I know.
I mean, we're not going to see this, and I mean,
Next
a year
spring.
from now, I think we'll have seen it, but
Yeah, we'll see it next spring. But we've
about
got
9 months
Lower Decks,
probably.
Prodigy, and Picard to go through before we get to that.
That's okay.
And
I say
and we're
get
at
through, as
Discovery,
if it's going to be a slog.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be amazing.
and I'm not sure what we're going to see Discovery season 5.
It'll be after Picard, after Strange New Worlds, just based on the production order. Because
Yeah.
did they finally wrap filming on Discovery, or did they just they just
they
started
only-
filming
they
on Discovery?
started in June.
Right.
They started in June.
So there's no way that's coming out before Strange New Worlds. I think
Agreed.
I think we're gonna get we're gonna get Lower Decks in August, then we're gonna get Prodigy, then we're gonna get Picard very early 2023, followed by Strange New Worlds, like we did this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some breaks. I mean,
Over the
there'll probably be
holiday,
some
at
weeks.
least.
Some weeks through the holiday, and maybe
I don't know. They
January.
didn't give us a holiday break last year.
That's true.
But I don't think we're heading for when
Another 48 weeks of straight Star Trek.
When Lower Deck starts again, I don't think we're going 48 weeks. I think there's going to be
So
just
here's
some
the
breaks.
thing. It's 50 episodes of Star Trek. Because we got 10 episodes of Lower Decks, 10 episodes of Prodigy, second half of season 1, 10 episodes of Picard, 10 episodes of Strange New Worlds, 10 episodes of Discovery. That's 50 episodes.
Yep.
We're not going to have very many
Wow.
breaks.
Well, not to
that's
mention that you've got additional episodes of Lower Decks and Prodigy already being worked on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's assuming it's all,
I guess I'm
that they
assuming
just
from
run it
this,
all the way through.
Yeah,
They
but
could
my
do a
assumption
week in
here-
between.
Well, they could have a few weeks in between, but my assumption is that we're going to get Lower Decks Season 4 in August again.
Yeah.
Which is obviously just based on the fact that the first 3 have been in August.
So then it has to line up, yeah.
That means they can't actually do that many breaks. I mean, they can double up, though, because they did that this past... So, we'll see.
Let's hope not.
As long as they
I
don't triple up.
suspect... Yeah, no kidding. I suspect that if it had not been for the way they were releasing Strange New Worlds in the UK, that we would not have had the break. Or it would have just been like a week.
Yeah, they wouldn't...
Yeah.
They should have... And honestly, I think if they had... I think they finalized the distribution deals too late for them to, plan it. But if they had known ahead of time, yes, they would have... We wouldn't have had those 3 weeks of Picard and Discovery.
Yeah.
We would have had-
actually, that would have made more sense.
It would have gone. It would have gone from Discovery to Picard to Strange New Worlds, and then Strange New Worlds would have synced up with the UK. Because the UK is not getting a break between
Right.
Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks because they're still a few weeks behind us. They just watched Elysian Kingdom this week.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yes.
Legally.
Yeah, most of my UK
Allegedly.
friends already watched Elysian Kingdom a while ago, but.
So not much else was said about Strange New
No.
Worlds other than, they talked a little bit about Paul Wesley in season 2, but we're going to see probably a more true to form Kirk, they said. But other
Yes.
than that,
It was a nice panel, but they didn't really give us much info.
No.
I felt it was more of a rally to get people to go back and watch season 1 than it, and kind of people who may have not seen it yet, just to get that in there.
Yeah.
How many Star Trek fans have... I'm legitimately saying this. There are not that many Star Trek fans haven't seen it yet, it seems.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember, too, beyond Star Trek. I think
yeah.
Strange New Worlds is that way into Star Trek.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You remember, even just in Hall H on Saturday, they were having Warner Brothers panels and Marvel panels.
Oh,
there were a lot of
right.
people in that room. There were people in that room where they were not there for that Star Trek
Right,
panel.
I forgot
but they had to sit
that
through
you
it.
have to camp out for panels. So
Yes.
it's not like they cleared the room and it was only Star Trek
Oh.
fans in that room. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I was not in that room, because it would have involved being outside at 10 o'clock on Friday night, hoping I got a wristband that would let
Yeah.
me in the room.
Right.
And my old butt is not willing to do that anymore.
Yeah, no.
I am not
Don't blame you.
20-something. I will not sleep outside and unshowered and willing to just trying to get a glimpse of a lot of actors I've met in person already.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you. I wouldn't have done it either. And honestly, the huge crowds are why I don't really ever plan to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Like, just too many people.
I don't know that I would be willing to do it again. Up until this Comic-Con, all my experiences has just been kind of doing... I mean, Star Trek has been down doing these outside experiences several years in a row now. They had a Picard museum for...
Remember that?
A couple years ago. I got to go to that for free.
Yeah, and they did that. They also had that in Vegas.
Yep. And then they did something for Discovery one year, too, where I got this really cool Discovery shirt that I've never seen again. It looks like the opening credits. And
ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been asked by a lot of people where I got that, and I'm like, I've never seen that shirt again. But
well, if you do ever see it, let me know, because I would love to fit the Discovery opening credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I'm not sure I can handle the crowds either. Give me STLV type dedicated Trek convention. But as long as they keep doing those experiences outside Comic-Con, yes, I will be showing up for that, especially since it's a 20-minute Uber from my house.
I was going to say, you're local. That makes it
I'm
easy.
very interested to hear how STLV goes this year, now that it's not sort of separated from the rest of Vegas. Because it'll be right on the strip in a hotel that will probably have tons of people who are not there for Star Trek.
Well, we're all staying in Paris, which is the next hotel. But it connects underground through a little tunnel. You can walk through Paris.
Really good breakfast buffet at Paris.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Like, you'll probably get a lot more of those people pointing, like, "Oh, look, they're walking around in Star Trek uniforms," and
you'll get more commentary on their scant than you normally would.
Yeah.
It's usually all positive.
I got some not positive commentary from the Rio casino floor the one year I wore a scant.
I have literally been working...
Yeah, I didn't care.
Well, I've literally been working out and dieting because my scant is in a Novos women's extra large.
Oh, boy.
And so I have to be a certain weight or it just doesn't fit. Getting that thing over your shoulders for a guy is a little bit of work.
Yeah, and I have, I am not quite as svelte as you.
Yeah.
But I will have a tailored scant to my measurements that I'm going to wear on the cruise next year.
Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. Looking forward to that. I have to say that the Star Trek uniform I wore, you guys probably saw pictures of it, which is like the season 3 and beyond, but it's not the 2-piece. It's the 1-piece, like some of the guys wore it, most like guest background actors and whatnot, but it's very much like the women's one though, like that zips up in the back and it's 1 piece.
And does it have the long sleeves then?
Yes.
Okay.
It felt completely legitimate. Like it was probably the most screen accurate I've ever felt.
Cool.
Especially when I took the doctor's coat off, it just looked right. I had the proper pips. I had the screen accurate comm badge.
Nice.
That was pretty empowering. So I'm looking forward to rocking that at STLV.
Love it.
I look forward to the pictures.
Yes. Let's see here. We did get one thing we didn't talk about was that it was dropped that there are 2 shows in production.
Yes.
Which we kind of knew. And it was also teased that more female leads are coming.
Yes. Now, I think one of their shows is almost certainly the Starfleet Academy show that we've been hearing about for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes. With probably Tilly.
Probably Tilly. That would make the most sense.
Although, having it set in the 31st century, I don't know how I feel about that. But okay.
It's also possible it's not Tilly, because we all were speculating that Tilly was leaving Discovery to be the Starfleet Academy show, but it could very well be that Mary Wiseman just doesn't want to be on Star Trek every week.
Might be too.
There could be other things that she's doing that we don't know for sure if it's Tilly. I'm still hoping for the Academy one to be late 24th, early 25th, because of the huge number of guest stars they can bring in.
Even just having like legacy characters being, coming in doing lectures and things like
Yeah.
that. That would be awesome. Barkley's probably still there.
Yeah. And for all we know, Miles O'Brien is still there.
I was going to say, that would make sense.
And I mean, if the other show isn't a Picard spinoff with Rafi and Seven, which we're all kind of speculating that it is, you could even have Rafi kind of tying into that, although, because she's been working with Picard at the Academy too a little bit, that we've been seeing in the background.
The other show is probably not Section 31.
Yeah, I think that, like we were saying, is going to be a Paramount Plus special movie presentation, 2-hour or very limited series,
like Kenobi.
I feel really bad for Bowie Kim and Erica Lapolt, because they were the ones that were going to be doing that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, the other show probably is this Picard continuation without Patrick Stewart, some version of that.
And if they do that, then that makes more sense. The Academy will not be in that time period.
Yes, true. Correct. I would agree with that. I also think some of the things we've been hearing about with Kate Mulgrew talking a lot about returning to live action could involve her being Admiral Janeway, and that I think we talked about a little bit about that. I mean, I really thought she was going to show up on the panel last week the way she was tweeting last Saturday, like she was going to be a surprise.
Yeah,
and they were going to talk about they were going to announce the Picard season 4, whatever that was, But I think we might still get that on Star Trek Day. I think we're going to get an announcement about one of these new shows at least, just over a month from now.
That would make sense, because the only thing that they can really show for Star Trek Day, we could get a full trailer for Picard, we could get a full trailer for Strange New World or Discovery, but other than that, there's nothing big coming that we know of.
Yeah, a Prodigy trailer would make sense, because that's got to be coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll already be airing Lower Decks.
Yeah,
it'll be 3 weeks into Lower Decks, or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that maybe a new show in production, because if you're going to keep up this constant thing, something's got to get into production to replace Picard now.
Yeah.
That beyond what they're doing in the background unannounced, it needs to go more full blown and start building sets or whatever. Or reusing Stargazer sets.
That would work.
And then so the other last piece of business that I got out of Comic-Con that was this big comic book announcement about Benjamin Sisko's return.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, that I'm excited for.
I mean, you guys have seen the picture. Why am I excited too? They're bringing Beverly back in that. I mean, that's like... But this is going to be a really cool comic book. It's kind of a multiverse type of approach. It's going to be taking place 3 years after What You Leave Behind and 1 year before Star Trek Nemesis. So Data and Beverly are both going to be TNG crossovers into this, and we're going to get Sisko, obviously. And it looks like we're getting some new characters, an Andorian and probably a Vulcan. As well as other characters who we didn't see in any of the preliminary artwork. But I am really looking forward to that. I do like the Star Trek comics, and the only Star Trek comics that have really been focused lately have been these Mirror Universe TNG comics. And then, as we discussed earlier, I've kind of done with the Mirror Universe for a while, so...
I enjoyed it when it was Mirror Universe Barclay pretending to be Prime Timeline Barclay. That was fun.
That was an interesting story.
I enjoyed all that, but we've done 3 different series now kind of continuing that. And, I know there's some new Disco comics out there that I need to get my butt down to the store and buy a few. But this is exciting because obviously it's not going to be canon, but... let's go explore Sisko some more.
I've enjoyed in general the IDW comics since they've been doing them.
Very interesting choice that it looks like they've designed yet another Starfleet uniform for these comics, including a scant that the Andorian seems to be wearing, a scant of some sort.
Nice.
I think they've
really
quadrupled the number of Starfleet uniforms in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of absurd.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope this Talir character actually turns out to be pretty cool because I could totally cosplay his look. I've got the hair. I could just shoot some ears,
Yeah.
But I'm going to see Data again. That's kind of cool. Data in his prime, not some Data existing in a box.
Yeah. So we still don't know for sure what Brent Spiner in Picard Season 3 is doing. They said an old, new character.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody who's been mentioned before that we've never seen?
Maybe?
That sounded like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be, the seventh member of the Sung family that we haven't met yet or something.
I know. It's a little bit of a joke. My best friend finally caught up on Picard and came over the other night, and we watched the finale of Season 2, which I still feel is one of the strongest episodes of Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know he's literally playing a role and acting, but the crap that Brent Spiner's character pulls in that episode, and even it's cringeworthy. Some of the oh, I paid a lot of money, break quarantine. No, that's not how NASA works.
We complained about
Yeah,
that.
really.
You don't buy your way out of that. I just when I can watch it and I'm poking holes in it immediately, that's just, it brings me out of it.
Yep.
Ugh, that's one of the few really wrong things with that episode. But, if we're going to bring Brent Spiner back, I understand the importance of that. Find a way to make him somewhat, have him play the character from Season 1 of Picard again. Just at least don't bring somebody new in again.
Yeah.
Anyways. But I don't think he's going to be lore or anything like that. His voiceover in the original, April little teaser they dropped sounded very positive, encouraging. So I'm hoping he's playing, obviously a good guy and part of the ensemble TNG reunited team. So we'll see.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well, I think that more or less wraps up San Diego Comic-Con this year. Does anybody else have any other things they want to mention?
Did you want to talk about the video game thing at all?
Oh, yeah! Okay, that looks really good.
Okay.
The Star Trek video game that
Resurgent.
which was announced earlier this year. They did talk about it some. It's gonna have a lot of. It's an adventure game, so it's gonna have story-based decisions where you make decisions and have to. There's gonna be ethical questions, and it's just gonna be very much like being in an episode of Star Trek.
Yes.
And
cool.
I am very excited for it.
So the script for this video game, because they have to write so many what ifs, kind of a choose your own adventure. The script for this video game is more than 1,500 pages.
Which means I'm going to have to play it
Wow.
7 times to see the different
Yeah.
outcomes.
There's that much content in it. So I like it. I like that it's going to be on PS4 because I have a PS4, so I don't
Nice.
have to go buy a platform to play this game.
Well, hopefully it'll be
we're
across.
just,
Yeah, it's going to be on
Yeah,
a lot of different things.
Yeah, they had a panel, and as I understand it, they just showed some gameplay, which was very positively received, but they still did not announce a release date. They just keep saying this year.
Honestly, I prefer that with video games because then when it inevitably gets delayed, there isn't that whole kerfuffle about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll just say that we're looking forward to it
Yes.
whenever that is that we get to play it.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody have anything else that you wanted to mention about San Diego or anything else related to Star Trek?
No, other than it's a lot of good stuff coming our way, and I'm probably most excited for Picard Season 3.
I think I'm most excited for Lower Decks Season 3, but I am also very excited for Picard and Strange New Worlds and Prodigy and any more Star Trek they want to give me.
The bar is high in everything that I'm excited for, but
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick a most, there you go.
Lower Decks, I
Well,
think, is my second favorite Star Trek series after Deep Space Nine, so I am just currently buzzing for Lower Decks.
I've been doing a little rewatch myself because it's good Trek.
All right. Well, Christos, thank you so much for joining us to tell us all about San Diego Comic-Con today. Where can listeners find you online? Do you have any work that you want to mention?
Well, you can find me in the BQN Collective on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at GreekGeekSD. And I think my little new podcast for the BQN will be coming very soon. So just stay tuned.
Chrissie, where can people find you when you're not having a crossover appearance on Star Trek Strange New Worlds?
Oh my god, please. Starfleet Historian right here. And they can go to the Academy. I'm teaching there. I have a tenure track. That's the dream, right?
This is how we know it's fantasy.
That's exactly. I wonder if there... No, I would say there's probably adjuncts at Starfleet Academy, but it's probably not because they're trying to not pay people.
Right, because they don't pay people. So
right, because you wouldn't need it. Yeah. All right, well, anyway, when I'm not dreaming of doing that, I am...
Or being the attaché to Admiral Janeway.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I can do that. Right, well, in addition to here, you can find me on History with the Szilagys here on BQN, and that's a twice-weekly short history podcast I do with my fellow historian partner, Jason. I'm also happy to chat about all of our shows in the BQN Collective on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter at The Goddess Livia, that's TheGoddessLivia, where I tweet about Star Trek, history, and leftist politics. Thad, where can people find you when you're not speculating about the next 2, 3, 4, 5 shows in production?
Unfortunately, I don't think they can because I'm never not. But the best place to find me when I am doing those things is on Twitter. At Tyrannicus, that's Tyranicus, where I have been slowly doing my alphabetical rewatch of Star Trek. It's been a few weeks, but I am going to get back into the letter D very soon. You can also hear me on... License to Spiel, that's license spelled with a C like the British, with my friend Carl, where we talk about the James Bond films.
Cool. All right.
Letter D.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, as we were out partying at Comic-Con, we got home shamelessly around 2:30 in the morning, and we were all still wound up. And we had to watch Data Lore, your letter D, because we all wanted to hear the Shut Up Wesley scenes.
The next episode for me is Dagger of the Mind.
Ooh,
okay.
Good one. All right, well, don't forget all of our other great shows on the BQN Podcast Collective, like Galaxy Class, All Good Things, Mickey's Marvels, Union Federation, and I already mentioned History with the Szilagys. And if you are a Patreon member, Mark White has It's Green, which is a kind of grab bag of some really interesting stuff. And there is also Amy's Math Moment that you'll get if you are a Patreon member. Insert the previously on here.
Previously on BQN. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast.
Did you know G goes nowhere, does nothing, GNDN? They put that on Enterprise D doors, that abbreviation, because it means, goes nowhere, does nothing.
They should have put that on this episode.
Right? Oh, dear.
Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast.
I saw someone on Twitter say that Pike's approach to this is the same as Edith Keeler's approach to world politics in the 30s. That it's the right idea, but the wrong time for it because it won't work, because you cannot... There are some people that you cannot get peace with. Right. Some fights are inevitable, and this was one of them.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you can be right, but it's not always the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Galaxy Class, a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast.
Well, I just think it's feminine, but still warrior, still, all the armor, but there's something flowy about it. It's just the perfect mix, that fierce and feminine.
Mm-hmm. You will find these and more of your favorite podcasts on BQN.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Tony Robinson for the awesome show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
And if you'd like to reach out, you can find the network on Twitter at BQN Podcasts, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in the BQN Collective on Facebook. And on our next episode, we'll be reviewing Season 2 of Lower Decks in anticipation of Season 3. Yay! Until then, we wish you peace and long life.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna not complain about the uniforms this week, but I don't like them.